Hello, welcome to today's class, and here we will discuss the basic communication system, in which we will discuss block diagram of basic communication system, and then we will discuss the TRF, tuned radio frequency receiver. Let us see some introductory points about communication systems. Communication or telecommunication or electronics communication is the oldest branch of electronics. The word telecommunication means communicating from a distance or from a long distance. Tele stands from tele is the word, the meaning of which is from a distance. So communication made from a distance, that is telecommunication. Different communication systems, these are the communication systems, or different communication systems are simply the means of conveying information from one place to other place. So communication systems utilized to convey information from one place to another place. The information that is conveyed by the communication system includes sound, picture, music, computer data, etc. So sound or picture or music or computer data can be conveyed from one place to another, or can be communicated over a distance by using electronics telecommunication. The initial means of communication are telegraph, where the text can be communicated over a distance, then telephone, where sound or communication over a distance is possible, and then radio, where again the sound or music can be transformed or transferred over a long distance. The important development in the telecommunication or communication systems took place in 20th century with the invention of black and white or color television. Still, the development is continued, and there are different modern communication systems that includes satellite communication, then cable TV, and nowadays cell phones. The basic concepts those are involved for the study of communication systems are modulation, noise, demodulation, etc. So these are completely the technical terms we will discuss in the next coming articles. First of all, let us discuss the block diagram of basic communication system. It consisting of 5 blocks as shown in the figure. The basic elements are transmitter, a communication medium or communication channel, and a receiver. The signal travels from transmitter to receiver, and during this transmission the noise gets added. So let us see the blocks one by one. The very first one is input transducer, to which information or input signal is given. What is information? Which kind of information that can be given? Information, in case of communication system, the information may be a sound signal, that is speech or music. It may be a picture, or it may be motion pictures like TV signals or a data from a computer. The communication systems are developed for communicating such type of information which is useful from one place to other. The very first block, as you can see here, is the input transducer. What is input transducer? The transducer or input transducer converts the information which is in the form of sound or picture or data signal into a suitable electric signal. Why is so necessary? It is because the information which is in the form of sound or picture or data signal, it cannot be transmitted as it is, or it cannot be communicated as it is over a long distance. To transmit this information, sound, picture and data signal over a long distance, it should be converted into an equivalent electrical signal. And conversion of sound, picture or data signal, in short, conversion of information into a suitable electrical signal, is performed by a device that is known as input transducer. Input transducers used in communication systems are microphone. Microphone converts sound signal into electrical signal. Camera. Camera can convert the vision or the view, field of view into a motion picture, etc. etc. So this is about input transducer. The next block is transmitter. The electrical signal that is given by a transducer to a transmitter, it is first of all raised in its power. So power of a signal that is given by a transducer to the transmitter is raised by the transmitter, and after increasing the power, the signal is converted into a suitable form so that it can be transmitted over a long distance. So a transmitter consists of different electronic circuits like amplifier to strengthen or to increase the strength of the electrical signal, then oscillator, mixer, power amplifier, etc. etc. We will see the mixer, power amplifier, etc. in detail in the next coming articles. So job of transmitter is to increase the strength of the electrical signal that is given by the transducer and then convert it into the suitable form so that it can be transmitted over or communicated over a long distance. The next block is communication channel or medium. It is simply a medium through which the communication signal or electronic signal can be transmitted from one place to other. Okay, so a medium used for transmission of electronic signal from one place to the other is called as communication channel or communication medium or simply medium. The communication medium may be conducting wires, cables, optical fibers or simply free space. Depending upon the type of communication medium or communication channel used, there are different types of communication systems exist. If these are the conducting wires which are used as a communication channel or medium, the communication is called as wire communication or line communication. If medium is a free space, that means no wires are used, no line is used for the transmission of signal, then it is a wireless communication or radio communication. So depending upon the communication medium, there are two types or two classes of communication, that is wire communication or line communication, and second one is wireless communication or radio communication. Let us see these types of communications one by one. Number one, line communication. In line communication, simply wires or cables or optical fiber used as a communication medium. That means the communication signal is passed from or transmitted from one place to another place via a wire or cable or optical fiber. That means communication medium is a wire or a cable or optical fiber. The examples are telephone. So sound is transmitted from one place to other place via wires or cables. Telegraph, again the text is transmitted from one place to another place over a long distance via wires or cables. Cable TV, the TV signal or television signal, which is a composite signal that is transmitted from one place to other place via the wires or cables or optical fiber. It means there are physical connection between the two systems. The system from which the signal is transmitted to the receiver. These are connected by the wires, by means of wires or cables or fiber optics or optical fibers. Since there are physical connection between transmitter and receiver, the communication over a very long distance or long distance is not possible in case of line communication. Now, second one, that is radio communication. The radio communication does not use wires or cables or optical fibers for their communication. It is simply a free space or medium that is used, it is simply the free space that is used as a communication medium. They do not need wires. For example, radio, TV broadcasting, television broadcasting or satellite communication. For this, free space is used, no wires are necessary. Radio signal can be transmitted over a long distance without using wires. The television broadcasting does not need wires. Communication through satellites does not need wires. They use simply free space as the communication medium. Since there are no physical connections, so the radio communication can be used as a long distance communication or communication over a long distance. That means from one country to other and even from one planet to other. You can communicate from Earth to Moon or Earth to a station on Mars. Okay, so that is from one planet to other. That is also the mode of communication that is possible due to radio communication. So let us move towards the next block after next block, which is unnecessarily enter in the communication channel, and that is noise. What is noise? Any unwanted signal that gets added into the signal which is to be transmitted from one place to other place. when it is traveling through a communication medium is called as noise. That means when a signal is traveling through a communication medium, which may be a wire, which may be fiber optic, which may be optical fiber or a cable, or simply which may be a medium, that is free space. In that case, unwanted signals gets added to the transmitted signal, and such type of unwanted signals which get added to the transmitted signal when it is traveling through the communication channel, it is called as noise. Due to addition of such type of noise, the quality of transmitted information will degrade, or the quality is reduced. For example, if it is a sound which is to be transmitted, and if noises get added, then the clarity of sound will be affected. We cannot listen it properly, or unwanted sound is there mixed with the necessary sound. So it is unwanted signal. Important to note that it cannot be separated once it is get added. It cannot be separated from the information. So this is the severe drawback. Again, there are two types of noises: natural noise and man-made noise. Natural noise is the noise that gets added and that is produced due to lightning or radiation from sun and stars. So this is a natural noise. On the other hand, there are different types of man-made noise, and man-made noises are specially produced due to electrical ignition systems of automobiles. We know that spark plug is necessary to start the automobile engines. It may be a motorbike or scooty or a car or a heavy truck. Everywhere we need the spark plug, which is necessary part of the ignition system, electrical ignition system. And when such type of ignition starts, a signal is produced and that gets added to the communication signal. So it is a noise. Then welding machines, electrical motors, etc., etc. All these are man-made noises. As we have seen, noise cannot be completely eliminated, but its effect can be reduced by using various techniques at the receiving end or by the receiver. Okay, in receiver we can use different techniques to reduce the noise, but remember, it cannot be completely eliminated. Next block after communication channel is receiver. Reception or receiving a signal is exactly the opposite process as that of the transmission. Okay, as we have seen that the transmitter takes the signal and converts it into the suitable form and transmits, while the receiver again amplify the signal that comes from the communication channel and then again convert it into the suitable form and give it to the output transducer. Okay, so in case of transmitter, it is the modulation the process that is called as modulation that takes place, while in case of receiver, it is the process that is called as demodulation. In short, signal is modulated in the block that is transmitter, while signal is demodulated in the receiver, so as to convert it into a suitable form. By using that form, output transducer can work. Receiver consists of different electronic circuits, again like mixer, oscillator, detector, amplifier is detector or demodulator. And the final block is output transducer. Output transducer simply converts the electrical signal at the output of the receiver back to its original form. So it is again working inversely as that of the input transducer. Input transducer converts different signals in the form of sound or motion pictures or computer data into electrical signal. Here, output transducer converts the electrical signal received from the receiver into sound or motion picture or computer data. So, what are examples? These are speakers. Speaker converts electrical signal into sound. Picture tube that is used in television, that converts electrical signal into motion picture or a mood. Computer monitor, it displays the data, which that means it simply converts electrical signal into computer data and displays products, etc. etc. So this is about what we call as communication block diagram of a communication system and working of different blocks. The important block that we have to study in detail is the receiver, and in which we will deal with the AM or amplitude modulated receiver. Now, what is receiver? What is a radio receiver? Receiver is a device in the communication system that selects a desired signal from all other unwanted signal and amplify and demodulate it and finally convert it into the desired form. Okay, so job of receiver is to select a desired signal from all other unwanted signal, then increase its strength, that means amplify, and convert it into suitable form, that means to demodulate it. Okay, and finally convert it into desired form, that means convert it into the sound or into the motion picture or into the data, computer data, etc. There are different types of modulation used, as we have studied in the previous chapter, that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation, etc. Depending upon the type of modulation used for the communication signal by the transmitter, there may be different types of receivers, and they may be AM receiver, amplitude modulation receiver, FM receiver, frequency modulation receiver, etc. etc. And here we will deal with different types of AM receivers. There are two types, or two significant and two important types of AM receivers used. The first one is tuned radio frequency or TRF receiver, and the second one is super heterodyne receiver, ERF receiver and super heterodyne receiver. The TRF receiver is obsolete, it is not used no more, it is not in use, but importance is that if we know the working of TRF receiver and if we know the drawbacks of TRF receiver, we will understood the importance of super heterodyne receiver or working of, it will be suitable to understood the working of super heterodyne receiver if we understood the TRF receiver. It is only the super heterodyne receiver that is used for experimental and commercial purposes. Okay, but we have to study first the TRF receiver. It will help in understanding of the super heterodyne receiver. So this is about AM receiver and its different types. As we know, there are two types of receivers, that is TRF or tuned radio frequency receiver and super heterodyne receiver. TRF receiver is the obsolete one. It is not utilized due to its drawbacks, but it is necessary to study the drawbacks of TRF receivers so that we can understand the super heterodyne receiver. So let us see TRF or tuned radio frequency receiver. The block diagram of tuned radio frequency receiver is shown here. There are simply 4 to 5 blocks, of which first two are the RF amplifiers. RF means radio frequency amplifier. First radio frequency amplifier, second radio frequency amplifier. The third and necessary block is of detector or demodulator. Next one is audio amplifier, and then power amplifier, audio and power amplifier, and then last one is the speaker or loudspeaker. Let us see the working of and details of these blocks one by one. So, as we have seen, TRF receiver is no more in use, but its study is important because it is useful in understanding the principle of the receivers. As we have seen, there are 2 or 3 radio frequency or RF amplifiers used by the receiver. The RF amplifiers all tuned together, and these are used to select and amplify the incoming frequency and to reject the all other frequencies. So RF amplifier stages does 2 jobs. They can be used to tune the desired frequency or necessary frequency. So select the necessary frequency and reject the all others, and again amplify the frequencies. So selection and amplification, selection of the desired frequency and amplification of the desired frequency signal. The job is performed by RF amplifiers, which are tuned together. Once the signal is amplified by the RF amplifier to a suitable level, it is demodulated or detected by the detector stage, which is again tuned to the same frequency as that of the RF amplifiers. The detected signal is fed to the loudspeaker or speaker after passing through the 2 stages, that is audio amplifier and power amplifier. The audio amplifier and power amplifier increases the strength of the audio signal, which is produced by the demodulator, and once the sufficient strength is increased, it is given for the production of sound to the speaker or loudspeaker. So in this way, this is a very simple design, very simple working. It can be used, or it can align at broadcast frequencies between 500 to 1600 kilohertz. However, it possesses some severe or important drawbacks, important serious problems, and these are 3 problems, that is instability of gain, variation in bandwidth over the tuning range, and insufficient selectivity at high frequency, and poor, due to which poor adjacent channel rejection. So simple in working but with serious problems. That is instability of gain, variation of bandwidth, insufficient selectivity, or poor adjacent channel rejection. Let us see what are these drawbacks. Instability. See what happens. The multi-stage radio frequency or multi-stage RF amplifiers are used to tune the receiver to the desired frequency. And when one or two stages are used, the gain is increased and gain becomes very high. Gain of these RF amplifier stages becomes very high. So, due to which a very weak signal at the output of the last RF amplifier can be fed back to the input. That is true with the sufficient phase, and in this way positive feedback that took place and oscillations are generated. It gives rise to instability in working or instability of the gain. Now, for example, the multi-stage amplifiers are used and the gain is as high as 20,000. So what does it mean? Only 1 divided by 20,000. Okay. So that means 0.5 into 10 raised to minus 4. So such a small signal can be fed back, if it is fed back to the from the last stage of the RF amplifier, output of the RF amplifier, to the first stage of the input of the first stage of the RF amplifier, then positive feedback took place and oscillations are generated, and in this way instability of the gain took place. So this is the severe drawback. Another drawback is variation in the bandwidth. When the receiver is tuned to a frequency, say FR, it is the carrier frequency, that is FR, and two sidebands, that is upper sideband USB and lower sideband LSB are selected. So by considering this fact that FR along with its two sidebands may be separated by 10 kHz, maximum of 10 kHz, we need a bandwidth of 10 kHz, and that bandwidth of 10 kHz is provided. Now how this varies, how this bandwidth is not sufficient, let us see. Suppose we have tuned the radio receiver to 500 kHz. So what will be the Q value of the RF stage? It will be FR upon delta F. That means frequency, tuned frequency upon bandwidth, that is 500 upon 10, that is equal to 50. So this is about the lower side, and the highest frequency is 1600 kHz. Now if it is tuned to 1600 kHz, then what will be Q? That will be 1600 upon 10, that is 160. But in practice, the Q value of 160 is not possible. The highest possible Q value in practice is 120. Now if we consider that 120 Q value is achieved, then what will be the bandwidth? That will be delta F equal to FR upon Q, that is 1600 upon 120, and that is equal to 13.33. So bandwidth required is 13.33. So it is more than 30%. Required bandwidth is more than 30% than the provided one, that is 10 kHz. Okay, so in this way the receiver will pick up the channel channels adjacent to the frequency FR. So it is receiver is not able to reject the adjacent channel. So poor adjacent channel rejections due to variation of bandwidth, that is the another problem. And the third one, which is again serious one, that is insufficient selectivity. Due to increased bandwidth at higher frequency, the ability of the receiver to select desired signal and reject all other is seriously affected. So as we have seen, only 10 kilohertz of bandwidth is given, while it should be at least 13.33. So loss of selectivity. It will select the unwanted signals. So the problems of instability, insufficient adjacent frequency rejection, bandwidth variation, all these drawbacks are serious problems suggest us that TRF receiver cannot be used in the practical applications or in the commercial applications. All these drawbacks of instability, insufficient adjacent frequency rejection and bandwidth variations are solved by using a super heterodyne receiver. So in this way, we have seen the introduction to telecommunication, importance of telecommunication, what is telecommunication, and then we have seen the block diagram of a telecommunication system. And then one important block, last but one block, that is receiver, out of which we will deal with the AM receiver, and we studied the TRF receiver, which is simple in working but possesses serious drawbacks, which is obsolete, not used in practice, but working of which is necessary to understand the important receiver, that is super heterodyne receiver. With this, we will stop here. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very much.